Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ifeoluwa. In this video, I'm going to show you how to perfectly sew your overbust corset using the bust caging technique. Now, you definitely love this video because I shared all the tips that you need to learn, that you need to know concerning this bust caging, and then I also shared the mistakes that you have to avoid when sewing something like this, so as to not end up with a flat bust. Because sometimes when sewing something like this, if you don't take necessary precautions, you're going to come out with a flat bust area. You can also see how perfectly fitted and beautiful this top looks on me. Now, if this is something you're interested in learning, you can stick around and watch this video to the end. And if you are seeing me for the first time and you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do well to subscribe, give my video a thumbs up, and also feel free to leave your questions and your comments in the comment section. Thank you very much, guys. Now let's get started. So I already went ahead to cut out on my fabric using the pattern paper that I drafted in my previous video. So if you want to learn how to draft and cut this, you can check my previous video. I'll put the link also in the description box. So this is the center front, which I cut out on fold. I cut out both fabric and lining, then I added my allowances to it. So I added 0.5 inch for this, and then the side front too, I added 0.5, and then the side front, second side front, I added 1.5 for the side seam and 0.5 for the rest. Now for the back, I added 0.5 round for everything apart from the side seam. I added 1.5 inches for the side seam. Now I'm going to place stay on everything. I'm going to iron stay on everything, both the lining and the fabric. So this is just to give it more structure. So guys, this is what I have after ironing my stay on all of the pieces. Now this top requires a whole lot of patience because it took a long time for me to iron the stay on this and to trim out the stay and also iron the pieces back. So you have to be very careful when doing something like this. Now what I'm just going to do now is to join every pieces together. So the front, I'm going to join them together, and the back, I'm going to join them together. You also have to be very careful so you won't join the wrong sides together. So you can leave the lining of the front pattern for now and go ahead to just join your main fabric. So I'm going to show you what to do for the lining of the front pattern, especially the middle part. So this is the lining of the front pattern. This is everything, and then I already ironed my stay on it too. Now for this 1 2 3, this middle parts, I ironed an extra layer of stay around the bust area just so you can give this more structure. So just go ahead to fix in an extra layer of stay around the bust area from the under bust to the neckline. So that is what I did here. Now I'm going to go ahead to join everything together. So this is what I have after joining my main fabric, which is my Ankara fabric. You can see how the bust area looks like even without putting anything yet, without caging the bust or without putting wadding or cup. You can see how structured it already looks like. So this is how yours should also be coming out. So for this to come out very neat like this, you have to iron the seams. So you open up the seams and you iron very well. And this bust area, you make sure that you're ironing it out on your tailor's arm, on the tailor's arm. So that is that round curve, so that the curve is going to appear very well. So you iron this out perfectly well. Now these are the this is for my back. These are the back pattern. I already joined everything together, and I also went ahead to iron this out very well. Now guys, this is how the lining looks like. So you can see how structured it is. See the bust area, how beautiful it looks like. So it is from this stage you know whether your corset is going to come out nice or not. So if you're not having something as structured as this, you already know that you are doing something wrong. So it won't the bust caging would protrude as it should protrude. So you make sure that you carefully do this, and then you also iron it the same way I iron the front. The main fabric is also the same way I ironed this lining, and this is also for the back pieces. This is how it also looks like. Now the next thing to do is to mark out the parts that I'll be caging on my bust area. So what I'm going to do now is to use my marker just to trace out the part that I'll be caging. So I'm going to be starting from this under bust area. I'm just going to create a curve from that part, a line from that part, and then curve it towards the under bust area and go straight down like this, and also curve it towards that part, and then I'll stop at the top there. So that is one part that I'll be caging. Now I'll move on to the other parts. Now something you must know about this is that you can cage as much as you want. You can add in your boning lines as much as you want. So it just depends on how protruded you want the bust area to be, or how busty the person is. So you can do as much as you want. So I'm just going to show you all the lines that you can go ahead to draw. So I'm going to fix one at the middle. This is also important. Then I'll fix another one here at the side, in between one of the curves and the middle. Then I'll also fix another one too here in between the curvy part and the middle. Then you're also going to be fixing boning here. This is very important. This part of the curve here, you're going to be fixing there. And then I'll also fix one here across like this. So I'm going to fix one here too. Then you can also fix one here too. It just depends on how much you want or how much you want this to protrude. You can fix one this part too, and you can also fix one on the neckline area and then on that area. You can fix one at the sides here too, so one can go here and one can also go on the other side. Now when you want to attach the boning to this, you make sure that you stay away from the neckline area and the armhole area. You stay away like about 0.75 away from the neckline and the armhole area. So this is the boning I'm going to use. This is a sewable boning. You can sew on this boning. So the width of this boning is almost at 0.5. Now let me tell you something that I observed about this boning. If you use a boning that is very tiny, there's a chance that you come out with a flat bust area, because that is the first one. The first one I made use of a boning that was about 0.25. It was very tiny. So my bust area came out very flat in that other one. So you make sure that you're also using the curvy parts. The curvy part of this boning is facing you. So I'm going to go ahead to fixing my boning on the lines that I have already made. So starting from this one here, the curvy parts, I'm going to start from this one. Now you have to summon all the patience that you have in you when you are doing this part. You have to be very careful because of the curvy nature of this part. Now one tip I'm going to give you is that you should not draw this boning at all. So don't try to drag the boning at all. Then you make sure that you are sewing exactly on the curvy area. You are sewing according to the shape of the curvy area. Don't try to also make it straight or anything. So you make sure that you are following the shape of this curve. Just carefully with patience and do this part, and don't also drag the boning. I've already mentioned that before because I made that mistake. So I made that mistake in the first one I made, and then I learned from it. So one thing you have to know about this too is also you have to practice and know the things that you have to avoid when sewing something like this. If you are still watching this, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up so it can be visible to many more people. Thank you very much, guys. So like this, now I'm done sewing the first side, then I'm going to run a stitch on the other side too. So this is how the first one that I have fixed looks like. So you can see that it is still retaining the curvy shape that we have. Now I'm going to go ahead to do for the other side. So exactly the same thing I did for the first side. You make sure you don't drag the boning, and then you make sure that you are going according to the curve. So guys, this is how it looks like. You can see that my bust area is still standing. Now I'm going to fix one at the middle. So this is how it looks like after fixing, and then you can also see the back how it looks like. So my bust area is gradually coming into shape. Now I'm going to fix on both sides too. So I'll fix one other side there, and then I'll fix one on the other side too. So this is how it looks like. Now the next one I'm going to fix is going to be here. That is this underbust, the one that goes across the underbust. That is the next one I'm going to fix now. This one too requires a whole lot of patience because of the curvy area. So you have to carefully sew this. Just don't rush when doing this, and don't drag anything. So this one we are fixing on the other bust area is one of the most important ones, because that is the one that is going to carry the under bust area. It's going to show where the bust stops. So after running my stitches on the first line, on the first part of the boning, I'll go ahead to do the same thing on the other parts. So guys, this is how it looks like. You can see the immediate difference after fixing this under bust area. Now I'm going to fix the last one that I want for myself. I'm going to fix it across here. So that is the last one I'm going to be fixing for my own personal self. So from these results, you will also know that this part is very important too. So just look at how it looks like. So it is already well structured now. Now if you want, you can also go ahead to still add more to yours, but it's just okay for me because I'm not too busty, so this is actually okay for me. So this is how the back looks like, and this is how the front looks like. And next thing I'm going to do is to add boning to these lines here. So these are my lines that I'm joined together. I'm going to be adding my boning together. So guys, you can also go ahead to iron this out just to make it perfectly curved. So you make sure that you are using your tailor's arm. Don't just iron this out on a flat surface. Make sure you are using this curvy part of the tailor's arm to do this part. So this is what I have after adding my boning to the lines, the already joined lines that we have. So you make sure that you also avoid the lower part, that is the hemline and the armhole area. Now back to the main fabric, I'm going to be creating boning channels on this, and I'll be using my bias tape. You can use your main fabric if you want, but I just want to use my bias tape here for this one. So I'll first of all mark out the midpoint. I'm going to use my iron to just show where the midpoint is, and I'll use my chalk to mark it out. So I'll draw out a line with my chalk on the midpoint. That is the first boning channel I'll be creating. Then I'm going to be creating one here too. So following the shape of this curve, I'll create one here, and then I'll make it slanted a little bit. I'll make it slant a little bit. Then I'll also create one at the side here. So this entirely depends on you. It depends on how many boning channels you want. You can have as many as you want, and then you can create any shape that you want for yourself. So I'll go ahead to do the same thing on the other side and mark out all my channels. So this is the method I'm going to use for my boning channel. I'm just going to be fixing my bias tape first. I won't fixing the boning yet, so just the bias tape. Now when sewing this part, you have to be careful. You have to make sure that you also follow the curl so that this one is not going to come out flat also. The bust area won't come out flat also, so you have to be very careful when doing this part. So I'm fixing only my bias tape for now, then I'm fixing the boning in later. So I'm going to do the same thing for the back. So all the lines that I already have created there, I'll be fixing my bias tape on them. So guys, this is what I have after attaching my bias tape on everything. So you can see how the back looks like, and then you can see the front. My curb area is still retained, so you make sure that you don't come out with something flat on this area. Now before I go ahead to fixing my boning on every channel that I've made, I'm going to first of all sew the sides and then sew the neckline area. So I'm going to join the sides together like this. The right sides facing each other, right side of the front fabric and back fabric facing each other. Then I'm going to sew using the 1.5 inches I left as the seam allowance. I'll also do the same thing for the lining and sew the side seams together using 1.5 inches. So guys, this is what I have after fixing the sides of both the lining and the fabric. So you can see that I notched out that midpoint there just so the shape is going to come out well because of the curvy area nature of the waist area. So I notched out that part. So the next thing to do is to work on the neckline area, and then you can see how it looks like after I placed my main fabric on the bust that I already caged. Now I'm going to work on the neckline area now. So I'll place the lining on it this way. The right side of the lining should be facing the right side of the fabric. I'll place it this way, and then I'll join them together and sew using 0.5 inch that we used that we left as the seam allowance there. So you can use your pin to hold this together so that you will come out with something accurate. So this is it after sewing the neckline area down to the armhole and down to the back of the top. And the next thing to do is to now fixing my boning. So while fixing this boning, you make sure that it is not interfering with the 0.5 inch that we left as a seam allowance there. So I'm going to fix them one by one on every side. So guys, this is how it looks like after fixing the boning. So I'll fix the boning on every channel that I created. Now what I'm going to do next is to sew this part here. So I'm going to join them together, the right sides facing each other. Then I'll sew using the 0.5 inch that I also left for this area. This is how it looks like after sewing, and then I'm going to create one channel for my boning to stay in. So a plastic boning is going to be here so that it can hold the top well when you want to lace it, because I'll be fixing eyelets here later on, so it's going to hold that part well when you want to lace it. So I'll just sew it with 0.5 inch so that it's going to accommodate the size of the boning. This is what I have after sewing. Then I'm going to fix in my plastic boning. So you can see that the space that I used is enough for the boning to go through. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to pipe the hemline of this top. So I cut out another Ankara fabric. I cut out one fabric about 1.5 inches wide. So I'm going to just use that one to pipe the mouth of the hemline, so that is going to be looking very, very neat. So guys, this is what I have, and this is the end result of my overburst corset. And then you can see that I've already gone ahead to fix in my eyelets too. Now there's one tip I forgot to tell you about the boning. By the time you are done fixing the boning, you can go ahead to iron it out so that it's going to be smooth. The straight parts will be smooth. You won't just have it springing up, so you can iron that part very well for the boning. So we've come to the end of this tutorial. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel to see many more amazing tutorials like this, and also give this video a thumbs up, and do not hesitate to ask me your questions in the comment section. So thank you guys for watching. I'm going to see you in my next tutorial. Bye.